Now, for more on the Boston bombing and how it may impact national security here in the United States, we are joined by Ryan Mauro. He's the founder of worldthreats.com, and he joins us from New York. Thanks for joining us, sir.
Thanks for having me.
At this stage, is there any evidence to tell us that this attack was motivated by terrorism or by a particular group, motivated in any way from outside the country or perhaps groups inside the country?
Yes, definitely. This was influenced by radical Islam, by an ideology that finds Western culture and the Western government to be at war with Islam.
Let me stop you right there. Where's the evidence?
Well, here's what it is. The FBI interviewed the older brother back in 2011 because of a tip, probably from the Russian government, saying that this individual has extremist ties. And if you look at the YouTube channel of the older brother, you can see Al-Qaeda type videos on there that are very extreme in nature. And those wouldn't be on his YouTube page if he didn't like them, as he says on there.
Okay, you're quite right. The FBI did interview the older brother at the request of a foreign government, which we believe to be Russia. This is what the FBI said afterwards. They said, we closed the case because we did not find any evidence of terrorism activity, domestic or foreign.
Sure, but that doesn't mean that they didn't have evidence of an extremist ideology, and that's what precedes an act of terrorism. And so that's what we need to focus on. We need to focus on the ideology that causes people to lash out in these ways, because otherwise, if you just keep trying to focus solely on tactics, on when they start actually trying to put together an attack, it's too late.
Okay, and what I'm saying, sir, is that there is no evidence.
You're wrong, because the older brother, like I said, go to his YouTube channel. Look at the videos that are on there. Look at the one that talks about the end times prophecy and what's happening in Khorasan, where they talk about defeating the infidel in order to bring about the end times. You obviously haven't looked at the YouTube channel, otherwise you wouldn't have said that.
Well, I mean, you know, he could have looked at those YouTube channels, he could have put those things on, but where's the evidence that he was motivated in this attack by that?
Because this is standard Al-Qaeda operating procedure.
Well, you know, now you're bringing Al-Qaeda into it. You know, where does Al-Qaeda feature in this?
Because this is the Al-Qaeda type ideology, their brand of radical Islam. And if you look at Al-Qaeda's Inspire magazine, their English language magazine, how they carried out the attack and how they made the bomb is right out of one of their issues from 2010. And so this profile of the incident really only matches an Al-Qaeda type group. And you have to also consider the fact that the older brother took a pretty mysterious 6-month trip to Russia last year.
Well, I mean, you say, when we don't know what happened in that trip, but, you know, you say in an article which you wrote online, which is for Front Page magazine, you say, he was able to fly out of New York on January 12, 2012 for a 6-month trip to Russia. Then you say it is speculated that he learned how to create the detonator for the bombs during this time period. I mean, you say it there, it is speculated. You don't know that, it's pure conjecture.
Sure, but my job as an analyst is to tell you what's most likely, and all the indications are pointing in one direction, and that's towards an Al-Qaeda type attack. There's no other group or ideology that fits this profile. You have to look into their background and possible motivations.
Right. And what are the indications that he learned how to create the detonator for the bombs during this period? What indications do you have?
Well, they're trying to figure out when he did, and that would make the most sense. Is this on this mysterious trip to Russia for 6 months, because the detonator is what is the most sophisticated part of the bomb. The other parts could have just been from reading Al-Qaeda's English language magazine.
Mr. Mauro, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks for joining us. No doubt we'll hear a lot more in the days and weeks ahead.